Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Jeff again coming to you from the Minecraft vanilla server. And today, I just put a bunch of my stuff in here that I actually realized I just wanted. But we will grab it and we will continue on because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of banners and try to work on the upstairs. I have white wool in here somewhere. I know I have more than 9 pieces of white wool somewhere in this area. It's probably just shooting across over there because I didn't have it stored properly. But poop is a weird thing. I know, it really is. I can say it as a medical professional, but poop is a very strange thing. And I'm not talking about, like, something that's not poop. I'm talking about poop. Like, straight up, excuse me, voice cracked on that one. Straight up talking about excrement. Human excrement. I guess it doesn't have to be human excrement. I don't know what got me thinking about this, but last night I was at work, and out of nowhere, I was just, like, in the middle of triaging somebody, and I was like, I gotta poop. And I gotta poop now. It came. It's gonna happen very soon. I better get to the bathroom. And I find it funny that it happens like that sometimes. Because sometimes, you know, you can sit there, wait to poop, wait to poop, wait to poop. Nothing. And it gradually builds up. I remember it used to be when I was in school. Oh God, it was the most wonderful time of the day when I got home from school. My sister and I used to fight for the bathroom right when we got off the bus. I need to get some wood. Speaking of poop, I need some wood. Right when we got off the bus, we would basically fight to use one of the bathrooms in the house because we always had to have that instant after school pooping ritual. It's something I think everybody does. I'm pretty sure it's something everybody does. I guess when nobody wants to poop at school, so what you do is you wait until it's only made me 4 banners. I have so much more wool than this. So you don't want to poop at school, so you end up waiting until you get home. And then it's a mad dash for the toilet. And now it's kind of funny because I can use this. Some more wool there. That's just snow. That doesn't help me at all. It's kind of funny because then when you got into like middle school and high school, when I actually started to do extracurricular activities, I realized that I was not alone. Most people were the exact same way. And the fact that right before when I started playing like football in 8th grade, I think was the first sport I started playing. I did not play high school football. I only played football in the 8th grade. And right after school, before we had to be on the field, the bathroom was always just full of everybody on the football team fighting for the stalls because we only had like a handful of stalls, you know. We're fighting for the stalls because we all had to poop. And everybody does it. Everybody does it at different times, but I guess the ritual of it was so... I don't know why I can't put any wool. Let me just grab some shears or something and go make some white sheepies. But it's one of those things that it affects everybody differently. And every time you poop, it's completely different than the previous time, which I know is weird to say, but sometimes you just sit there and it's very standard, I sit there for a while, I read my little magazine, play games on my phone. Actually, that's what it is. You play games on your phone. Everybody does it. You can't say that you don't. If you go to the bathroom in today's day and age and you forget your phone, dude, you're in trouble, man. You messed up somewhere because what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have some time-killing mechanism if you are in the facilities. Catch up on texts, catch up on emails, catch up on bathroom games. I have certain games that I play when I'm in the bathroom. Like, for a while it was Candy Crush. I don't play that game at all except when I'm on the toilet. And granted, I actually don't play that game at all anymore because I think I upgraded my phone, or my phone's OS upgraded, and it like wiped out the the progress I had made on it, and I was like, screw this, I'm not gonna do this again because I don't want to have to, you know, start all over on this thing. So I basically stopped playing the game. But there's a few games that I play on the regular. There's a few games that I play on the regular, only in the bathroom. But that's only part of it. Your ritual while you're in the bathroom is only a small handful of what you do. But because sometimes, just sit there, and like I said, it's regular. It gradually builds up throughout the day. Or you can just gradually feel it, and you're like, when I make it to the bathroom, I will, you know, feel good. And it was that, like, sigh of relief when you had that normal ritual, like, every day after school. It was literally, it was like the best time of the day. You go in there, it's like Cartman in South Park, and you're just like, it feels awesome, you know, to just, sit down, let it out. It feels so good. It's just like you lifted a bunch of weight off your chest, and granted, hopefully your poop wasn't on your chest, but that's what it feels like. It just feels amazing, that feeling of now being, you know, poop free, when moments ago you were poop full. I guess that would be poop free versus poop full, and it is wonderful. But sometimes, especially, you know, I've talked about this before, especially when I'm drinking coffee, which I'm doing right now, which is what kind of triggered this whole conversation as well, is I woke up this morning. I woke up this afternoon, I should say, because it is definitely not the morning. I for sure am way well into the morning time because there we go. Let's get all these. I'll have to wait for those guys to breed some more so I can go finish this up. But I took a sip of coffee. And instantly, and I know that they say, you know, once your metabolism gets started, you know, it's a very well-known fact that if you drink coffee, you know, it makes you have to poop. But why? Like, that's the question that I want to ask is, why does coffee make me want to have to poop? And I honestly couldn't tell you the answer to that. I mean, people claim it's because, well, yeah, it kickstarts your metabolism. Like when you eat something or drink something, and caffeine, you know, blah, 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 does it even better. It kickstarts your metabolism and makes it so that your body is like, hey, it is time to poop. I have to poop now. And that's true, except for, why does it make it come so fast? How come when I drink coffee, I have to poop like this second? Like there's no turning back. I just drank a sip of coffee and now I'm like, must poop now. Whereas if I didn't drink a cup of coffee but ate something instead, yeah, that kickstarts your metabolism as well. That's why they tell you that you should eat breakfast, because of the fact that what it does is it kickstarts your metabolism, and therefore, here we go, and therefore you actually burn more calories throughout the day because your metabolism has started, and therefore since your metabolism has started, you get hungry. That's why a lot of people don't eat breakfast, is because you get hungry sooner, and they feel that as a bad thing, and they figure if I don't eat, it's better for me. Like, especially people who are trying to lose weight, they're like, well, if I don't eat, then I'm going to eat less. If I don't eat in the morning, I won't get hungry, therefore I'll eat less, and if I eat less, therefore I'll lose weight. And it doesn't work that way. If you eat in the morning, it kickstarts your metabolism, your body starts burning calories sooner, and therefore what happens is you end up losing more weight than you would if you were to not eat anything in the morning, despite the fact that you're eating more. And it's the same thing, like your GI tract and your GI motility has not really started yet, which is why when you wake up in the morning, most people don't wake up with the urge to poop. They don't just wake up and go, oh my God, I gotta poop so bad. I mean, I've woken up in the middle of the night with that I've had to pee like there was no tomorrow, and I thought I was gonna die if I didn't pee right then. Well, I didn't really think I was gonna die. I would just like piss the bed instead, but I don't want to piss the bed. I'm an adult, damn it. Hey. You act right, Door. You know, like I said, I'm an adult. I don't need to pee in the bed. There we go. So therefore I will, be diligent about making sure that I do not urinate in the bed. but I get up and I race to the bathroom. That doesn't happen when you have to poop. You don't get up and go running toward the bathroom because your GI tract isn't working yet. So either way, take a little sip of coffee, and all of a sudden it's like instant, like I can just feel it. Like the coffee just like races through me, and it's like, must poop now. The same thing used to happen when I was a smoker with certain brands of cigarettes. I know that sounds really ironic and weird, but I'll tell you, Camels, every time I smoked Camel, I instantly had to poop. And I was a regular smoker, but I would smoke Marlboro menthols. That's what I used to smoke. And I'm not suggesting anybody smoke, because I think smoking is a horrible thing. I'm glad I kicked the habit to the point that I did. It's been over a year now, and you know, I vape, which is probably still bad, and I've heard that there's stories that, you know, the formaldehyde and stuff build up in there, that it might even be worse for you. But you know what? It's a start. I've kicked the true habit of smoking. I can kick this habit if I so choose to and so want to. So one of these days it will be able to happen, and I will be completely smoke-free, and I look forward to that day. But the vaping doesn't make me feel that urge to poop like other things do, and it's the eating doesn't either. It doesn't instantly kick in the urge to poop, and I don't quite understand how come the coffee and cigarettes had done that to me. But now I'm, you know, mainly just a coffee drinker, so I can't say I drink a lot of things. I don't just drink coffee, but I mean, of those two items, it's, you know, just a coffee drinker. So that's the one thing that kicks up my urge like instantly. But then sometimes too, it's funny because you can go, what the hell happened over here? I don't know. But sometimes it's weird because you can go like sit on the toilet and have this completely quote unquote normal bowel movement. And by normal bowel movement, I mean that, did I start chopping this down and just decide I got bored and not finish? Or did somebody else just come take like a row of wood from my farm here? Can't really tell, but what I need is actually birch doors, so I need to clear these guys out so that I can get a hold of some birch doors by planting more birches around. So let's do that. I need some wood anyway, so we will go ahead and finish these off. But and then sometimes you sit down, and I mean, it's such a weird feeling, and this one I don't get, because, you know, I understand for the most part, you know, the concept of, you know, consistency and things like that. And what it is, if you let something stew for too long, like those people who only, they force themselves to not poop. I knew some people who, like, they'd go on vacations and they refused to poop anywhere but their house. So they would go for like 6 days without pooping, and they'd be miserable when they got home because they basically forced themselves not to poop. And then, I mean, that's extremely dangerous and extremely unhealthy to do, but people do try to do that. And some people I know, they specifically would only want to poop like once a week. And I thought that they were lying the first time somebody told me, no, I only poop about once a week. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, why on earth would you only want to poop one time a week? And how do you force yourself to do that? Like, what does it look like? Is one of the questions I asked somebody finally. And they're like, oh, it's like these little balls when it comes out. And that's because you've let it stew in your GI tract for so long that it sits in your large intestine or your colon, and basically that's the point where a lot of water gets sucked out of your poop and reabsorbed into the body. And if you do it too much, that's how people get constipated, because if it gets too like hard because there's no water in there, you know, it can get stuck, you can get, you know, compacted. But that's also why it becomes these little balls, because it sucked the water dry out of it. But I think it's so funny because sometimes you'll sit on the toilet and that urge, when you just have that urge, especially after coffee, and you just have that urge that you can't control. And I don't know if it's because, you know, should have theoretically pooped before I went to sleep, and I didn't, and therefore it's been sitting all morning, but my GI tract motility is so slow during the night when you sleep that it's not really absorbing water, and when my GI tract starts to like kick in, that it just kind of like picks up where it left off, but I instantly just have to go, and I make it to the toilet. I have no idea. But you sit down and you feel like it's just, you know the feeling of diarrhea, and you know how disgusting that is and everything. And it's just like pure liquid and nastiness, and oh man, sometimes it's so bad, and like you sit on the toilet and everything just lets loose, and all of a sudden it's like you feel like splashback on your ass just because it's that powerful and that much pure liquid coming through all at once. I know this is a lovely story, isn't it? But like sometimes not even having diarrhea, it feels like it's pure liquid on its way out. And you stand up and look at the toilet, and everybody looks at the toilet. Don't pretend you don't. If somebody was like, "Oh, what's your poop look like? Or what color is it?" Be like, "Oh no, look at it." Yeah, you do. Shut up. Don't lie, because we all know it's true. We all know everybody looks. Everybody's fascinated by it. How big was it? How much was it? You know, everybody's fascinated. And I know there's gonna be a lot of naysayers in here who are gonna be like, "I don't, Jeff. I don't know why you're saying that. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Can't believe you do that." No, you do it. The person who comments to say that they don't do it definitely does it and is in denial about doing it because they think it's wrong. And it's not wrong. I'm here to tell you it's okay. This is a safe place. We can talk about these things. You can admit it. I don't judge you. I'm sure you all judge me, but I don't judge you. But it's funny, like you feel like that pure liquid and you look in the toilet and it's like a solid mass in the bottom, and you're like, how did that just happen? Like, I felt it. It was liquid. How does it instantly touch water and become this random solid mass? I know, it doesn't make sense, but it's the way it happens sometimes. Or sometimes you go and you, like, feel like you just let the biggest one out in your life. You're just like, and you feel so much better, and you get up and you look, and there's nothing there. Or there's, like, one little drop, like, sitting in the bottom of the toilet, and you're like, did it just like move? Did it go? Did it all of a sudden, like, did it automatically flush itself? And we had absolutely no idea that it was just like flushed on, or like it flushed itself before I could even like tell. It's just gone. Nothing's there anymore. You've had those before. Or those ones, the worst ones, I'll tell you, these ones are the most disgusting ones. And you feel like everything's absolutely normal. And these usually happen when you're out in public, too, because, of course, that's where you have, like, the crappiest toilet paper that, like, falls apart at the slightest breeze. That little one-ply stuff that you can't even get off the roll. You try to pull it off the roll, and as you try to pull the roll, it's just, like, one sheet rips off at a time. Or it rips that sheet in half. That's the worst, when the sheet, like, rips in half. Because it's not even, like, it doesn't even want to give you a full sheet. It's just like, here you go. This is the way we conserve money in this place. You can have this one sheet. And that is the absolute worst. But it's the absolute worst when it's like you feel like everything's normal, and all of a sudden you go to wipe, and it's just like purely covered, and you're like, oh god, like there was so much there that it's just covered with poop, so I'm gonna have to wipe again to make sure it's all clean. And you just can't seem to, no matter how much you wipe, you just can't seem to clean it off. I mean, that's the whole concept of like what a bidet is supposed to do for you. It's supposed to be the healthier lifestyle to clean you off. I want a bidet so bad. And then, you know, Brian tells a story about his, you know, not homemade, but his do-it-yourself bidet flooding his, you know, his entire house, and that kind of scares me as well because, you know, the aftermarket bidets. But the countries that use bidets on a regular basis, man, I'm envious of you. I think that is awesome. I want like a bidet that not only cleans me up, but when it's done, like doing the little wash thing, like a little hot air dry or something that comes through to wipe up the air, and then like a little sploosh of like a cologne on my ass. That would be like, oh, that would be ideal and like amazing. Can you imagine just like sitting there and it's just like, splash of cologne on the buttocks because now I smell delicious as well as don't smell like ass. Like literally, I don't smell like ass. My ass does not smell like ass. Like, that's the greatest thing in the world. You use that as, you know, a diss to somebody. It's like, damn, you smell like ass. But you know, my ass don't even smell like ass. So you couldn't even tell me that. If I had one of those super awesome bidets, that would be great. But there's so many different kinds of poop. Poop is just, it's so weird. But it's so natural and happens all the time. And I do find it funny, especially in the hospital setting. When you're stuck in the hospital and you have absolutely no other choice but to go, and people are so sorry, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but I really have to go to the bathroom. Like, dude, don't be sorry. It's natural. I have to go to the bathroom too. I just have the liberty of being able to get up and walk to the bathroom and do it, which you don't have that option right now. So therefore, you better not feel sorry at all because you're doing absolutely nothing wrong by having to poop right now. And that definitely is my story, and I am sticking to it. So, anyways, tell me about your poop stories. I don't know if you guys have them. I don't know if you guys will probably be embarrassed to talk about them as you can see, I'm not embarrassed to talk about anything like that at all. Poop stories, non-poop stories, I don't care. I'm actually going to have to end this video quite shortly here, mainly because of the fact that I'm drinking coffee and I have to poop. And I have no idea what kind this one's going to be. If it's going to be normal, if it's going to be liquidy, if it's going to be like the one that you have to struggle for to force out. Oh my god, those are the worst. Sometimes when you let them stew for so long and they feel so big and it like hurt, you're like crying trying to let it go because it hurts so bad when you're just, it's just so big at that first point of exit and you're just like, ah! And you know what I'm talking about. You've had those before as well. The nice thing is right when you get that finished, that first part, it's kind of like, you know, what would it be? It's like, starting the I don't even know what to call it, but right when you get past that first little point where it starts to come out and everything else just kind of smoothly flies on down at that point, and you're just like, oh, and it's like the biggest relief in the world, but you're still like crying a little bit on the inside as well as on the outside because it hurt that bad. And yeah, that's the way of the poop. Don't worry, I'll move these lights one of these days. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Poop.